Oh, I gotta run more. Whew. I will admit that I've been putting off making this video. You guys have asked for this video over and over again for like a month now, and I've been putting it off. But today I'm gonna try it. Today I'm gonna try my hardest to answer the question: what should you buy, a GoPro Hero 11 or an Insta360 X3? The top two action cameras on the market, but to me, very different tools. It's like comparing a hammer and a screwdriver. I use them both, but kind of for different things. But if you were to only buy one, which one should you buy? Because they are both running Black Friday sales. So this guy is on big discount on Black Friday, details in the description, and so is this guy. So if there was ever a time to buy a new action camera, Black Friday, it's usually it. First though, a quick camera overview just to set the parameters for this comparison. The GoPro Hero 11 is a traditional action camera. GoPro invented this whole action camera genre before my first GoPro. I remember that I had like waterproof one-time use cameras, and that's what we would take out surfing with us, and you would like wind the top of it and be like, click, and it was terrible. And now we have the GoPro Hero 11 that can shoot 27 megapixel photos, 5.3K video, 4K 120 frames a second, 2.7K 240 frames a second, time lapses, hyperlapses, night lapses, just a super durable, all around useful action camera. But it shoots just like this. Wherever I point this camera is where it shoots. So if I'm filming something over here and something happens over there, I missed it. Whereas the Insta360 X3, on the other hand, is a 360 camera. See, we have two lenses on this camera, one going this way, one going this way, and both of them are greater than 180 degrees field of view, which means that there's like a crisscross effect here, and this camera creates a 5.7K 360 sphere that you can then take into post, and you can reframe where you want it to look. So even if I was holding the camera over here and something happened over there, I could in post make the camera look that way, and then I could have it look at me, and then I could have it turn around and look that way. Lots of options. But mind you, that final rectangle that you're cutting out of that 5.7K sphere is only 1080. So 5.3K over here and 1080 over here. But first, a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, and also someone having a big Black Friday sale, and that is snap mounts. Snap mounts are by far my favorite GoPro. If you haven't heard of snap mounts, then you clearly do not watch this channel because I love them so much. If you don't know about them though, this piece here, see, this is like the base plate snap mount that just lives on your GoPro. You keep your GoPro like this. Your GoPro is now magnetic to any metal surface, but more importantly, it's magnetic to their adapter mounts. So I can have multiple adapters, these magnetic adapters on all my different mounts that I have, and then moving my GoPro from one mount to the next is just popping it off magnetically and slapping it onto the next one. It's awesome. I love magnets, and these guys made all of my GoPro mounts magnetic. And then if you're like, oh, but I'm like way too gnarly for magnets. Magnets could never hold me. They got this adapter, and this adapter has like little hooky bits. It's their locking adapter. Instead of just slapping it on magnetically, you put it on sideways and then you rotate it into place. And now those hooks have like fully locked onto the GoPro. Now it's like a mechanical hold and not just the magnetic hold. And then when you want to get it off, you just twist, pop it off, and then you can grab one of your other mounts and slap it on there. Grab this mount, slap it on there. It is amazing. But the best part of all this is that they are now running a 15% off Black Friday sale. Head over to snapmounts.com, use holiday 15 to get that 15% off. And between now and December 15th, they're going to include 3 GoPro minis randomly in 3 orders. So between now and December 15th, you could order a snap mount set, and when it arrives, instead of just getting your snap mounts, you also get a GoPro Mini. Okay, back to our comparison here. And the very first thing we should take a look at is video quality. And a quick side-by-side here, we're gonna put the GoPro at 5.3K 30 frames a second, the best it can do. And we're gonna put the X3 in 360 mode at 5.7K. But remember, on this guy, in 5.7K, the entire 360 sphere is 5.7, and we're gonna reframe into 1080. So what you're gonna see is 5.3K versus 1080. And just looking at them side by side, what do you think of the footage? If you were just to say, hey, footage alone, the quality is what counts, which of these two cameras would you choose? Would you go for the GoPro Hero 11 or would you go for the Insta360 X3? Now let's flip the X3 into 4K 30 mode. So that's the single lens mode. It's gonna only shoot forward or backwards, but it is now at 4K 30. Once again, 5.3K 30 on the GoPro versus 4K 30 on the Insta360 X3. What do you think of the footage? Now, footage quality alone isn't my only deciding factor in choosing a camera, especially an action camera, but if footage is like the main thing that matters, if you're maybe trying to splice in an action camera shot into bigger cameras like this, and you need to just put it in like a really cool spot and get a cool shot, maybe the GoPro might be the right choice for you. So for footage quality alone, 1 point GoPro. Next up though, let's talk about the type of footage that you can get, because with a GoPro, when you are filming yourself, you're kind of, you know, kinking the camera down like this, and this is about what your shot usually looks like. You've always got a pole in the shot when you're filming yourself. And even in like hyper view mode, it's kind of hard to get like a head to toe of yourself. And again, there's always that pole in the it actually kind of looks like this. Every GoPro shot looks like this, where there's a pole coming right towards you. But the thing that has made the Insta360 1X and then 1X2 and now X3 my favorite action camera is that invisible selfie stick. This pole, it's not in the shot, it's just not there. And because of that, I can just get some like mind-boggling shots. If I'm skateboarding or I'm snowboarding or doing anything like that, even when I'm just like out for a bike ride with my daughter, I'm on my skateboard, she's on her bike, and I'm holding the camera out in front of us, it doesn't look like I'm filming. It looks like I'm just hanging out with my daughter, going for a ride, and somebody else is in front of us, like riding backwards, filming us. And that for me is a massive selling point, because again, the footage coming out of this camera, it's just different. It's not what people are used to seeing. And when you see it, it makes you stop and go, what? So for versatility of shooting, whereas the GoPro, it really just shoots like a normal camera, kind of like this camera. For versatility of shots, 1 point X3. But again, these are action cameras, so how do they do with stabilization? I would say they are both pretty bananas at stabilization.
This is very difficult to do. Here is a side-by-side stabilization test between the Insta360 X3 and GoPro Hero 11. They're both real good at it.
It is wild what this GoPro can now do. And basically what they're doing is they're taking a large sensor readout, and then the actual shot that you're seeing is a smaller rectangle inside of a larger rectangle. So that larger rectangle could be doing this, but digitally they can take that smaller rectangle and they can move it around so that it doesn't look like it's bumping at all. But when it comes to stabilization, and digital stabilization in particular, taking a rectangle and putting it inside of a sphere, it gives you unlimited stabilization options. With this camera, you could spin it like this, you could do this, whatever you want to do, and you can keep that shot perfectly upright because it is a rectangle inside of a sphere. And that kind of digital stabilization, it just can't be beat. Again, both of them incredible. The stabilization these days on action cameras is bananas, but oh yeah, another point for the X3. And then last in our comparison today is durability. These are action cameras after all, and when you look at each of these cameras and you realize they both have screens on them. The GoPro's got a big rear screen and a little front screen. This guy's got a large screen on there. I would say the screens are both shockingly scratch resistant. Like neither of these have really gotten that scratched up, and I have beat the crap out of them. Both waterproof down to 33 feet, so you can jump in the water with these things, no problems. But the big issue with these two cameras is that the GoPro has a removable lens cover. And if this gets jacked up or scratched or just messed up in any way to where I go, oh, that is bad, I just pop this one off, I grab another one, I pop a new one on, and the GoPro is back in action. And because the X3 is a 360 camera and all 360 cameras have this issue, the lenses, you see how nice and beautiful they are? They're both so pretty. they're also both so vulnerable to scratches of any kind. So when I'm out filming with this thing, I don't let it touch anything. Like I think of it like a giant, like fragile glass rod out in front of me. And if I'm snowboarding and I'm going through trees, I'm like, oh, keep it away from a tree. Don't let it hit a tree, because a tree branch could hit that lens and just and scuff it or like really scratch the crap out of it. And these are not user replaceable lenses. If you scratch the lens, your camera's got to go in and get repaired. You got to send it in. It's a whole thing. So when it comes to durability, 1.4 GoPro, which makes this comparison a tie. Just like I thought, they're both amazing cameras. They're both amazing tools to kind of be used in different ways. And while I don't think that I can tell you which of these two cameras you should buy, what I can tell you is this, and I think it's gonna help. If I am shooting footage that I need to be high quality, usually I'm shooting somebody else. Maybe I'm filming someone else doing skateboarding, like someone's gonna do a cool trick or dirt bike or something like that, and I'm filming someone else, I usually reach for my GoPro. But if I'm filming myself, if I'm the one doing the action, I'm the one skateboarding or snowboarding, or I'm on a dirt bike flying through the air and I have this mounted on my bike somehow, I would choose this camera. So higher quality footage on the GoPro, but it can really only look one way. And 360 footage on the Insta360. You never miss a moment with this guy, but it's 1080. Which of those makes the most sense for you? Or, like me, you just get them both and you use them as two separate tools for different things. I mean, that's the best idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below though. Which would you guys go for? Would you go for the GoPro Hero 11 Black? Does that make the most sense for how you shoot an action camera? Or are you the one doing the action and an X3 makes way more sense for how you're shooting, because you're gonna be able to film yourself really, really well. It might only be 1080, but you got the shot. Either way, Black Friday sale on both of these guys. The links will be down in the description. Go shoot over there and save some money, whichever action camera you end up choosing. Again, for me, I'm just gonna keep them both in my camera bag and use a hammer when I need to hit a nail, and use a screwdriver when I need to screw in a screw. All right, see you guys. I know a lot of you are gonna ask about these poles, because people always ask about the poles that I use. This is the Insta360 invisible selfie stick. I use it for both cameras. I just put a GoPro adapter on this one so that I can use my GoPro on one. And then this is the Insta360 tripod that is really good because you can still use it as like a grip, but then it becomes a tripod. And yeah, that's what I use for both of them. So some of you were gonna ask that. And if you do ask that, then I know you didn't watch to the end of the video, and you should have. Watch to the end of the video. Share this with a friend. Like, comment, subscribe.